Hello, Soundcraft User Group Facebook users, and here is my first video that I'm going to be explaining setting up gain structure for a microphone and also simple procedure for the AFS system. So I'll let you see I've got a UI12 set up, and I've got one microphone plugged in to channel 4. I've got auxiliary 1 out to a monitor. I do have my master output set at 11 o'clock, but that's not going to be affected right now for the monitor. And I do have one microphone set up. So I'm going to take a seat and we'll look at my iPad here, and I'll get it to a good angle. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the Shows Snapshot menu, and I'm going to select a default and initial setup, and I'm going to load that. And so that's going to set a blank canvas for everything else to be set up. So there aren't any channels labeled. There isn't any EQ set. If I go to the master and go to edit, the EQ is completely flat. The dynamics, everything is set at default. So since I'm going to be using channel 4, I'm going to hold that and I'm going to rename that lead box. So I've renamed that channel. So now at the bottom it's going to say lead box. So we've got that channel. Okay, now we have that channel selected already, and that's going to be the mix for the lead vocal. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to hit mix gain, and if you notice, all the gains are at 0. A place to start for gains on microphones would be somewhere between 20 dB and 26. I'm going to try 24 and see what that looks like. Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Hey. Now that's a little low because I'm looking for something up around the -6. So I'm going to move that up to 27. 26.9. Hey. 1, 2. Hey. Hey. So if I really get super loud, I'm up to about -3, which works well. That can be adjusted later. This is only a starting point. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the setup of the channel itself. I'm going to get out of the mix gain, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit edit on the channel, and I'm going to hit EQ, and I'm going to come over to presets, and I'm going to find the factory preset for a male vocal 1. And then I'm going to click load, and you notice it's set up a EQ there. Then I'm going to go to dynamics, and I'm going to click preset, male vocal, and I'm going to load. And now it's set me up with a 4.1 ratio and an 8.9 gain, which I prefer on my vocals about an 8. So I'm going to struggle and get that at 8 exactly. 8. And I'm going to set my ratio to 2.5. And now I'm going to come back up and talk into the microphone, and we'll see what happens. Check. 1, 2. Hey, hey. 1, 2. So I'm getting input and output, but I'm not getting any compression. And the reason for that is the threshold is set too high. So I'm going to lower the threshold to -24. And we'll look at that again. Check. Hey, so with my mouth about 1 inch away from the microphone, and you never close your eyes, I'm compressing one green square or two, and if I get loud, on the road again, I'm compressing about 3 or 4 there. So that gives me, I like to have my vocalist in one green square of compression all the time. And if they're up close to the microphone. So, and you're only cutting at a 2.5 ratio, so it's will be inaudible to the crowd. Now, this setup on the compressor may or may not be going through the monitor channel, depending on how you have your setup with pre-dynamics or post-dynamics. But this is just my normal routine of setting things up in a new gig. So now that I've got that set, I'm going to go out of the edit again, and I'm going to go into the aux settings. And now you see all the auxes, and I've got my lead vocal. So I'm going to take my lead vocal and turn it all the way up. First thing I want to do is turn the auxiliary 1 all the way down, and I'm going to turn my auxiliary 1 send all the way up to 0 dB. So the lead vocal is at 0 dB. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to hit aux 1 and edit. And now it's going to bring up the setup for the ALS. Now, I hit the green square to get, so it's green now, and it says sensitivity. Well, I'm going to turn the sensitivity all the way up to 6 dB. And I'm going to make sure that I'm on fixed, and I'm going to turn it on. So now the AFS is ready. So then I'm going to sit back down here and we'll watch what happens. So I'm going to slowly turn up the aux level and see what happens. Now, we heard something ring, and then it went away, and it just happened to be on the screen, and that is between 250 and 315. There was a piece taken out there. And if we go back to setup, you'll see where it's exactly taken out. 292, it's taken it out 6 dB, a Q of 7, very small wedge. So we're going to continue to ring out the system, and we'll see what else we get. There's 2. There's a higher one. There's a lower one. There's a much lower one. And once you've heard 6, that's about all you've got for a setup. You've got 6 different ones. So if you see here, I've got 292, 121, 441, 6327, 11,239, and 942. And those have all been taken out at a 6 dB ratio. So now I'm going to take my sensitivity back down to 0. I'm going to go into presets, I'm going to go into user, and I'm going to save that as lead, Vox, Mon. And so now I could move that over to live, but if you're playing in a small place, at this point I normally go to locked. So the settings that are in there is not going to change. If you were worried about say a karaoke type of situation where there may be more feedback later, depending on someone holding a microphone and pointing it into the monitor. You could leave that on live, and then the AFS system would be able to take out 6 more frequencies. And you can also save that as well, but I like to save the fixed by itself so I can use it at a later date. And the same process is used through the mains, which I'll show in another video. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was informative for someone having trouble setting up gain structure on a microphone and using a monitor. This would be for basically like an acoustic setup for one vocalist and ringing out his monitor, and he'd be set to go. So I'll be on to the next video. Thank you.